Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for a special Find Your Balance event with Dr. Michelle Adea-Murthy from Kelsey-Seybold and Dr. Deb Kern. I'm Lane Galata, a member of the marketing team here at Kelsey. I'm going to hide my camera and mute myself in just a second, but I wanted to hop on to make sure all of you were able to get on okay and join us. We are super excited about today's event and think y'all are going to get a lot of awesome information that'll help you relax and find your balance in this crazy world that we're all going through right now. So we'll give it just a minute or two before we get started. Your microphones are muted and your cameras are muted or turned off. But if you have any questions, we have the chat feature at the bottom and the Q&A feature. You can submit those throughout the event. So please feel free to do that. We definitely want to make sure we get your questions answered by Dr. Deb. So we're good at just one more minute, and then I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Adea-Murthy. All right, Dr. Adea-Murthy, do you want to go ahead and get us started?
Sounds good. Thank you, Lane. Good afternoon to all the HISD teachers and employees. Thank you so much for joining us for our special event today. We're excited that you have taken a step in putting your physical and mental health first by attending today's program, Find Your Balance with Dr. Deborah Kern. I can tell you that through her teachings and during this event, you will truly learn tangible stress management and wellness practices that you can actually start implementing in your daily routine immediately. My name is Michelle Adea-Murthy, and I'm actually an internal medicine physician at the Kelsey-Seybold Bertholdson Main Campus Clinic. I'm excited to be joining you today as one of your hosts, and I'm sure you'll learn a few things from myself and Dr. Deb. Before I introduce our featured speaker, I want to make you aware of a few important housekeeping notes. Obviously, before COVID, we had a lot of normals, and now we have a lot of new normals in our community. We used to hold in-person events with Dr. Kern, but now we're doing virtual events, so that way we can all still hear her and hear all her good messages. As healthcare professionals, we know firsthand the incredible amount of stress everyone is facing during this pandemic. Our leadership team at Kelsey-Seybold has continued to look at the ways to take action and help provide support and education during this time. However, one thing was very clear to all of us. We had to find ways to support and help teachers and those that are supporting school districts during this incredibly stressful time. Many of physicians and team members at Kelsey-Seybold have children in school and emphasize with the stress and workload being placed on teachers and everyone who is having to support our students in virtual and on-campus learning. It was so important to us that we find ways to bring opportunities like this to you as a way to say thank you. We want you to know that we stand with all our HISD teachers, employees, and administration. And now let's get to the main event. I'd like to introduce Dr. Deborah Kern, or as most of you call her, Dr. Deb. Dr. Deb is a health scientist, a visionary teacher, and a life coach who is dedicated to helping us live pleasurable, purposeful, and spirit-infused lives. Her teachings not only come from a medical foundation as a practicing nurse, but also from her studies across the globe. From the rainforest of Costa Rica to the foothills of the Himalayas, to the jungles of Bali and the shores of Maui and the interior of Mexico, Dr. Deb has traveled far and wide to study, apprentice with master teachers, shamans, yogis, herbalists, and healers. She has observed time and time again that when we take actions in our own healing and become aware of patterns that disconnect body and mind, miracles can occur in every area of our lives. And her passion is inspiring others to experience this. If you have any questions during her presentation, please submit a question to the Q&A box or the chat feature on your screen. It'll help Dr. Deb make sure we get as many questions answered as possible during our time with her today. As an added bonus, we'll also be drawing names for door prizes at the end of today's event. So be sure to stay tuned to see if your name is drawn. You have to be logged in and present to win. More to come on that later. Now I'm going to turn the event over to Dr. Deb. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with all of you, and I do miss you in person. I know so many of you I would recognize from all the times I've been there in Houston live, but I'm also glad that we can do it like this because it means that I can reach more of you. And I know that so many of you are at home, working at home, schooling at home. And my job today is to see what can we do to help give you more balance, even with all of this disturbance in our life. And I'm going to start by having you rub your palms together, get them nice and warm. So now this is good for you, but it's also good if you have any kiddos that you're schooling and they're doing distance learning. Teach them this, because what happens is when we're looking into the screen so much, we lose ourselves into the screen. So we need to bring ourselves back into our own body. Is it warm enough? You got warm hands? So with your hands warm like that, then rest them over your eyes. Now look at me first, because then you won't be able to see, but let the palms be over your eyes and the fingertips in your hairline, just like this. And let your eyes bathe in the warmth of your hands and deepen your breath. And see if you can feel just this one thing, this taking the tension away from the screen already starts to soothe your nervous system. And then deepen your breath. Keep your hands just like they are. I'm going to teach you a breath. It's a little bit slower than normal. For now, breathe easy. Notice what's happening as your eyes now start to settle. It's so soothing to be in the dark and the warmth. And then take a slow breath in through your nose, breathing in, hold the breath. Hold the breath, hold the breath. Can you hold it? Now breathe out through your mouth or your nose, breathe out and let the breath keep going. Your eyes are still closed. Take a big breath in through your nose. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hold the breath. Hold, 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 hold. Exhale slowly. Exhale, exhale, and let that breath keep going out. Imagine it going far away. Release your hands. Take a breath in. Slowly open your eyes. Hold your breath. Let the breath go. Imagine the breath keeps going far, 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 far away. And then take a big breath in through your nose. Hold the breath. Exhale slowly, slowly, and let the breath go far, far away. We're going to do 3 more breaths like that. Big breath in. Hold it. Breathe out. And just imagine it going out, 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 out. Here comes another breath in. Hold the breath. Out it goes. Here comes your last one like that. Breathe in. No need to push. Hold your breath. No need to try. Let the breath go. Let it keep going. Now put your hands on the sides of your ribs. When you breathe in, push your hands away. Hold. When you breathe out, the hands come toward each other. And imagine the breath going. So the breath is out. Here it comes in. Spread the hands apart. Good. Hold it. And breathe out. The fingertips come toward each other. Keep squeezing it out. Keep squeezing it out. Now breathe in. The fingers apart from each other. Sideways breathing. Hold. And breathe out. And let the breath go. Now, put a hand on your belly and chest. Breathe in the chest and then the belly. Hold, the belly and chest are expanded. As you breathe out, the belly pushes in And the chest drops, and the air keeps going. Breathe in, the chest rises, then the belly rises. Hold. And breathe out, the belly hand goes in. You're pushing the air out from the belly. The chest falls, and the breath goes. Now let's see if we can put all of that together. Breathe in, belly, chest, sides. Hold. Breathe out, sides, chest, belly. Leave the breath out. Breathe in, chest and belly and sides, and hold. And breathe out. You're doing so great. Chest, belly, sides. Let the breath go out. Just the whole body. Now breathe with me. Breathe in, whole body breathing in, sideways, front and back, top to bottom, and hold. And breathe out your whole body like a sponge. There it goes, all the old air. It goes way far away. One more big breath in like that. Breathe in the whole body. In. Can you feel it all the way up into your hairline and hold it? Breathe out. Now just relax. Rest your hands in your lap. Scoot away from your screen like I did. Can you scoot back a little bit? Start to feel your body is not in the screen. Your body is separate from the screen. Your feet are on the floor. Crown of your head is long. Whole body is still breathing. Nervous system coming into balance. Whole body breathing like a sponge in and out. Notice how you feel. And please chat me up right in the chat box. What did you notice from the minute we started as we moved through? I want to hear from you. Did you notice anything? For example, many times my students say that the first time they try the breath where the breath goes out all the way, they get anxious. But after a while, their body regulates and they're able to hold the breath out. Tell me what you noticed. I'm just checking into the chat box, making sure that I'm seeing it correctly. There we go. Thanks. Thank you, Alicia. You were driving up to the last two. Even driving, you liked it. You know, this is safe to be done driving. So I do it driving all the time. This is not the kind of meditative practice that you have to wait till you're still. So I'm so glad you were doing it. You felt a bit of anxious and then a sudden relaxation. Oh, this is great. Thank you all. So let's look here. Thank you. Muscles loosened up a bit, relaxation, free your mind kind of feeling, calm. Also someone driving and it calms the ride. Yes. So this breath is in for 4, hold for the count of 4, exhale for 4, and then leave the breath out for 4. This breath will always help bring you from overactive, hypervigilant, sympathetic nervous system state to a more clear and focused and calm parasympathetic. The parasympathetic nervous system, when it's in charge, your immune system is functioning better, your digestion is better, your metabolism is better, everything is better. So this is not just a fluffy breath. I'm going to read a few more, relaxing, very relaxed. You felt like you're floating. Yes, I love that feeling. Don't you love that, Melissa? Very relaxing, calming. Oh, yay, Cynthia's niece taught her how to do that. It's great for your niece, A+. So, oh, fun. Rebecca said she saw it in the New York Times recently. They called it the box breath. I love that it's making it out there. So I'm here today. I'm not here so much to cram you with information because I imagine that you have so much information coming at you from all sources. What I'd like to do is give you real practical tools like this one. In fact, if this is all we did, it would be enough. If you would practice this breath several times a day, it would absolutely help bring your mind into focus, relax tension in your body, help your muscles work better, and all the other things that I said. But we're going to keep going because we're in a time of so much chaos, and different ones of us are experiencing life differently. But one thing is for sure, it's shifted a lot. And whenever there's a lot of shifting and changing, our nervous system doesn't feel safe. And depending on your childhood and everything else in your life. When you don't feel safe, it can trigger different levels of sympathetic overdrive and stress response. So I want to teach you some very simple movements, and this does require standing, so you can do it sitting. So I'm going to say this. If you're sitting and you cannot stand, if, for instance, if you're injured or for whatever reason in a chair, you can do everything that I'm getting ready to do seated. So when I'm standing and I'm having you shift your body weight left and right, just imagine that you're shifting on your sits bones left and right, okay? Everything else will be pretty clear what you can do sitting that we're going to do standing. But if possible, it'd be great for you to stand, because a lot of times we're on Zoom so much and we're seated. So I'm going to have you go ahead and stand up. Join me standing. And from standing, let me get where you can see my feet. So I love to be barefoot as often as possible and let your feet ground. It's even better if you can be barefoot outdoors on the earth or on some grass. I'm not, but at least it's wood. So wherever you can be, barefoot is great. But if you have on shoes, fine. From this place, I just want you to start shifting your weight left and right. And just as we begin, take stock. How aware are you of your body right now? How aware are you of your body and where you are? And I'm going to move you through this practice, which is guaranteed to help calm your nervous system and reduce any stress response. So start to shift your body weight left and right at your own pace. You can feel your weight literally shift onto one foot and feel it on that leg. And as you shift to the right side, you feel the weight on the right leg. Just shifting. I feel peace near. And as we're shifting, let's see if you can let the breath match. Inhaling, I feel peace near. And exhaling, I am safe here. Just a few more like that. Relax your neck and jaw, and imagine that you're drawing a line on the floor. Can you imagine this line, like your whole energy field is drawing a line to the left on the floor? And you're using your energy to draw a line to the right. And just come to the center and slow that down. And then let your body weight move a little to the back and a little to the front. Just a little on your toes, to the toes, and to the heel. So you're just kind of leaning back, and you're kind of leaning forward. That's it. Leaning back and leaning forward. And as you lean back, palms up, open the chest. And as you come forward, roll the back to the hands forward. Palms up, roll back. Just a small one. Inhale as you come back. Exhale as you go forward. Inhale as you come back. Imagine you're drawing this line on the floor now, a vertical line. Inhaling back, exhaling forward. Now stay here and inhale, palms up. And exhale, palms down and sweep back behind you, like that. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, sweep behind you. We're starting to clear our energy field and feel grounded. Inhaling, stretching up, 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 up. Exhaling, sitting back, sweep back. Two more like this. One more like that. Stay tall, bring the hands down. Left palm up, inhale slowly, stretch open the whole left side. Inhaling, inhaling. Oh, exhale, palm down. Right palm up. See if you can feel the air. Feel like you're dragging through. That's it. Exhale, palm down. Left palm up so slowly that breath is in, opening the left rib cage and under the left arm. Exhaling. Right palm up. You might start noticing the words. I feel peace here, near. I'm safe here. One more this side. Can you sing it? I feel peace near. I am safe here. One more time. If you can sing, it's really great to let the voice. I feel peace near. I am. When your own voice sounds, your body believes you. Hands on your hips. I'm just going to circle your hips a little to loosen. When we circle our hips, we start to lubricate the top of the femur where the thigh bone meets the pelvis, and it gets really stuck when we're sitting in our chairs. That's it, and it releases tension in your low back. And as you circle, can you feel how the belly button opens and closes with the circle? There you go, that's good. This is releasing some of that belly tension. We hold stress here, a lot of fear here. Go the other way. So you're breathing life into your intestines. You're breathing life into your reproductive organs. You're opening the low back and the pelvis. And you're lubricating the hip socket. So good for you. Nice. Maybe still singing. Now take your left foot in front of you like this on the toe and just start to circle around that left foot. So you can work into the joints, into the ankle, and let it move up into the knee, moving around. Let it move into the hip, moving around. Just starting to remember your whole body. Put it together. Take your right foot forward on the ball and just circle the foot. Maybe singing to yourself is a really good idea. If you can sing to yourself, I feel peace near. Peace is near. Let your hip come into it. I am safe. Yes. Now we're going to work into our wrists. And let the elbows open and close. And then let your shoulders roll. There you go. Let the elbow come as well. Just getting those shoulders to roll back a little bit quicker. I feel peace. There you go. Can you feel the shoulder blades starting to get unstuck? Your shoulder blades get so stuck when you're at your computer. See if your shoulder blades can massage your back from the inside out. Oh, that feels so good, doesn't it? Oh. Now stand still and easy. Let your left ear go to your left shoulder. And let your chin go to the center. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin to the center. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to the center. Right ear to right shoulder. Center your head, and then just turn your eyes all the way. Your head turns, so you're taking a 360 degree turn all the way back. Your eyes are scanning the horizon. See where you are. See the room you're in. Take it all in. Take in everything around you. Take in everything around you. And so that you know, one of the most helpful things when you're especially stressed, and especially when you're sitting on the computer, is to move left and right, to move forward and back, even on your sits bones. And this one right here that we ended with, where you look all around. It's really important for the nervous system. All animals do this when they need to feel safe. Why? Because when animals are in a vulnerable position, say way out on the savannah or somewhere exposed, this is when they scan the horizon and see, in fact, there is no clear and present danger, which as you're scanning your horizon, you're experiencing there is no clear and present danger. Your nervous system settles down. You don't even have to say that to yourself. You don't have to say, there's no clear and present danger. Your body gets it. So come back to me, to the chat box, and let's see how we're going so far. So, oh, good. See, even driving. Let's see. Oh, so good. I hope, Cassandra, I'd love to hear from you. With lung issues, I have had so many pneumonias in my life that I do so much that's for the lungs. Everything we're doing is so good for the lungs. Let me just see. I'm going to go back, and I want to catch what's in here. So... Good, Karen. You use it with your speech therapy. That must be the breathing you were talking about. Yes, yes, it does keep you from getting upset. Oh, you almost rocked yourself to sleep. All right, let's hear from you, Cassandra. I'm curious how that was seated, because it's really designed to be done seated, and I'd love to take any questions. Oh, yes. So, Melissa, snap, crackle, pop. Exactly. When you go slowly and gently, I call it self-chiropractic. Your body starts putting everything back into place and crackling out some of those old stuck parts. Oh, I'm so sorry about the tinnitus, Alicia. I'm hoping that even some of this can help. Yeah, let's hope that it gets some of this, release the tension from your body will help you sleep. This is my prayer for you. So, just curious to see anybody else wants to share with me how that movement, this movement comes from the world of somatic PTSD therapy. So this is the kind of therapy I use as a somatic therapist with people who've had PTSD. Why I believe it's so important now is that we're all suffering a form of trauma with just all of the changes. So I don't like to label it necessarily, but I do like you to understand where this comes from. It comes from the whole field of somatic experiencing for trauma relief. So no, you can't really find a video of them elsewhere because I've integrated several systems together. But I think, well, let me ask if this is being, I'm sure this is being recorded because a lot of people couldn't be here live. So you can do it again on the recording. And I'll ask people to chime in who know if it's being recorded. I think there's some people on who can tell you. Yay, muscles are loose. Yes, it's being recorded. Thank you. So that's your answer. You'll be able to come back and do this. That's what I was hoping. Okay, so I want to keep moving because there's several more things I want to say. Think about, now these are tools you can use anytime during the day. But even before things get out of control, there's a really particular practice that can always support you, which is to think about a day. You have a day, and it has energy. You've got energy for 24 hours. Every 24 hours needs a distinct container. That's how I look at it. It needs something to hold it, especially now, because I don't know if you've noticed, but it's hard to even know what day of the week it is. I was talking to my neighbor yesterday, and she says every day's Wednesday. I just call it Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Every day's like a Wednesday. It has no special feel because we can't even go to church on Sunday, so it's like everything's weird. I don't know if you've had that experience, but that's how many of us are. The time runs into each other, and it feels a lot like a run-on sentence, like you actually don't ever finish a day, especially if your sleep is disturbed. It's like you just go and go and go, and your nervous system and all of your organs, everybody inside of you, they don't do well like that. They need to know. Your whole body and mind need to know, whew, we did it. Wow, we can stop. And then, oh, it's time to start. Yes, rather than it's never gonna end, all right? So how to create a container for your day is you need to come up with a morning and an evening ritual or routine that works for you, that's non-negotiable. That's the thing. You can't be messing around with it too often because then it just makes everything still run everything into each other. And so when you're going to get an email, I've written a little ebook for you with everything I'm telling you. I didn't want to make slides for you. I don't want you to have to look at slides because honestly, you'll need to make up your own. Let me tell you what's in the ebook that we're sending to you after this session. And that is that morning routines and evening routines, one size does not fit all, but there's some basic things. First thing you do when you wake up, the first thing you want to do is to take control of your thoughts. Because if you allow your thoughts to run on automatic, I can promise you, based on the research, that 95% of repetitive thoughts that run on automatic are negative. The reason is our survival instincts are wired to focus on negative things to keep us safe. But right now, we don't need that. We need to not just run negative thoughts. So the first thing when you wake up in the morning, you do whatever it takes to focus your mind, your thinking mind, onto positive. So every morning I wake up, this has been a lifelong practice, I say, thank you, God. Thank you. Like, I'm surprised. It's Miracle. If you think about it, it's a miracle we even wake up because so many things have to go right. Your breathing has to stay working. Your heart has to keep pumping. Your body has to keep balancing your blood sugar while you're asleep. You have nothing to do with it. You've got to be digesting your food and making new hair and nails. I mean, so many miracles are happening when you sleep. So I say thank you. Ever since we've been sheltered in place or locked down, whatever you call it, ever since we're home more, and I have struggled some, I'll just share with you, I've struggled not being able to come to teach my classes in person. So now I say, thank you, God, because I'm so glad I'm awake. And then I say, show me my purpose today, because I want to still feel purposeful. And when I ask, I'm always shown, and I'm always looking. If I'm asking to be shown my purpose, my mind is always scanning for it. It might be as simple as helping someone get their grocery cart turned back in. It might be something like that, but I'm always looking for what's my purpose when the way I used to deliver my purpose has changed so much. And so it helps me stay on the positive. That's the first thing. Grab hold of your thinking mind and automatically direct it toward where you want to go. And then I recommend that you put on uplifting music or an uplifting podcast or something to keep the vibration going while you do your normal getting ready. Now, I always, because I have Ayurvedic practices, I always scrape my tongue. And if you've ever, people who've been to my talks know that I always put a slide up about the tongue. Scrape your tongue, first thing, please. Why? Because during the night, your body deposits undigested toxins on your tongue. And if you have any, they'll be like a white film, and you don't want to swallow that. So you can take the backside of a spoon and just gently, don't do it rough, just scrape that stuff off your tongue. Or you can buy a tongue scraper. They have them at Amazon. It doesn't have to be fancy, but scrape your tongue, brush your teeth while listening to these musics or this podcast that's uplifting. Make it non-negotiable that you're filling yourself with positivity. And you can be practicing the breathing while you're doing that. Now, I have a few other things in my morning routine that include a daily self-massage, which I use a dry brush because of what my skin needs, except for now in wintertime, I'll use a little oil. I'm going to let you come up with that because we're all so different. But do something that's really nice for your body, whether it's putting on lotion or oil, and then do some kind of stretch. You could put this video on again and do the one we just did, and that would be great. You would get into all of your joints. But in the ebook, I also gave you a link to a very simple, it's 9 minutes long, and in 9 minutes you go through all of the joints. It can be done seated, and it's gentle, but it's very effective. So you'll see that in the ebook. I just recommend first thing in the day, get your mind right, scrape your tongue, and do something for your joints at a minimum, right? That's going to get your day going. And then I'm just going to check the chat box because I'm chatting on. I just want to make sure that we're good. I get all excited. Okay, good. Everyone's just saying thanks. Okay, you're welcome. So I'm just excited to share with you. Now, so we got the morning, and you're going to fix yours. Don't make it undoable. You know, sometimes in my life, I've had a morning routine that lasted an hour long because I could. And then other times in my life, my morning routine is 7 minutes. Do what's doable, but just make it non-negotiable so that your whole body knows, oh, a day has begun. A day has begun. And it's positive. The end of the day, you've got to have an end of the day. And honestly, I feel like I'm speaking to myself. So I'm gonna take a breath in and I want you to do this for me. Put your thumbs together like this. This is called a butterfly hug when we do EMDR or trauma release. And so you put your hands like this and just pat your chest. This is a very soothing kind of breath when you just do this. And the patting left and right starts to calm you. And you may even notice right away, it feels like, oh. And so this is you just being gentle on yourself and saying, I know, honey, it's hard to turn off all the devices at night. I mean, it's easy to tell your kids to do it, right? But then they're in bed and they're asleep and there you are with your phone in bed. And you know it's not good for you. So just say, I know. Take a deep breath, have compassion on yourself, and then be like a strong, fierce, loving parent and set some limits for yourself. You just have to do it because the light's not good for you, the disturbance is not good for you, and just take this in. The last thing you do before you go to sleep at night, you take into sleep with you, and your body has to process it. And so if it's at all disturbing, even if it's just trying to figure something out, it keeps your body from doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be repairing. You're supposed to be repairing tissues and cells and growing fingernails and hair, but it can't because you've just disturbed it with some new information. Stop it, okay? So I recommend turning it all off 2 hours before you go to sleep. Take a breath in. I know that means a lot, but some of y'all are old enough to remember when we didn't have devices, right? You don't have to go to bed with them. All right. The other thing that I recommend is taking a bath at night and using sea salt or, and I put a recipe here, or using Epsom salts. And if you don't have a bathtub, no worries. You can literally just take some sea salt in a jar, put a little bit of oil, coconut oil or almond oil in there, put a couple drops of lavender, mix it up with your fingers, and just scrub your body with that salt. Sea salt helps to clear negative energies. It's why you feel so good when you go in the ocean, because it clears off other people's energies. And it's nice to clear other people's energies off of you before you go to sleep at night. So the last thing I would say, and this is especially for those of you who are having a trouble sleeping at night, right there, right before you go to sleep, it's very simple. Just squeeze all of your muscles. Take a big breath in, squeeze. And then when you release, just imagine all the tension draining out of your body. It's like that one final squeeze and letting things go. So an evening routine, something that you decide on, something that's not too complicated, but that lets your whole body, mind, spirit know that the day is done. It's over. And it's time now to let the body go into repair mode. There's nothing else you can do. You can just rest, and your body's going to take over. And some mystery beyond you is going to work through you to do all the healing that you need while you sleep. It's such a beautiful gift that we have if we don't disturb it. That's the container for the day. Now, once you have a container for the day, you want to pay attention to, you'll start noticing, first of all, when you make a container for your day, you'll feel more robust energy because you're holding it. You know, energy needs something to hold it. It's just like if you were going to start pouring some milk, but you didn't have a bowl or a cup, it would just spill everywhere. And that's what we've been doing with our energy. We just start spilling it everywhere. But when you have a morning and an evening bookend, your energy has a place to flow. So your whole day, you'll actually feel like you have more energy because it's not just spilling everywhere. Then you'll notice, because you'll be more sensitized and because you're doing the breathing and you're keeping yourself in your body by doing things like we just talked about, like rocking every now and then during a Zoom meeting, covering your eyes every now and then during a Zoom meeting, coming back into your body, noticing yourself, not getting lost into your electronics. When you notice, you'll notice that you are leaking. You got leaks in your container. Remember that song, There's a Hole in My Bucket? Anyway, you got a hole in your bucket. What causes leaks, do you think? Well, I'm just going to read to you straight from the little ebook I made you because I wrote them, and this is what they are. Oh, yes. Compulsively checking emails, social media, and texts. Trying to make everything okay for everyone. Criticizing ourselves for our looks or how we parent or how we don't have a garden or how we're not cooking proper meals, criticizing ourselves. Worrying about anything. Worrying is a massive energy leak. I'm sure you've heard this. My grandmother used to say, worrying is praying for what you don't want to happen. It's not a good use of mental energy. Taking phone calls when it's not convenient for you. Clutter. Any clutter around you is an energy leak. Doubting yourself, skipping meals, eating sugar, wanting things to be different than they are. All of those are energy leaks. So I've made this list for you, and I've suggested that once you take a look at the list and reflect on your own life and which ones do you seem to have a lot of, and then start making a note. Oh, there I go again. There I go again. And as soon as you find an energy leak, all it takes, I promise, is that 4 square breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, and as you exhale for 4, just decide, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm letting that go. I'm going to stop worrying about that. I'm going to stop trying to make everything okay for everyone. I'm going to stop talking bad to myself. I'm going to stop being so mean to myself on the out breath. If that doesn't work, then you got to move. So, you ready? This is what I would do. When I can't stop the fears and the worries and I can't stop those energy leaks, I dance. And I'm going to give you my favorite. It was hard to pick, but this is the one I picked for y'all. So, ready? Stand up. Stand up. And if you're sitting, don't worry, because you can just use your hand motions the way we're using our hand motions and use the intention with us. All right. So we're going to move through the body into the places where we tend to hold knots. We get energy knotted up inside of us, knots of worries, knots of criticism, knots of anger and rage and grief. They tend to be held in 3 places: about here, and about here. So by moving the pelvis this way and the circles we did, by moving, twisting. Now be gentle with a twist if you have any energies, but you want to twist at the waist and the solar plexus, because the liver is where we hold old resentments and angers. Our kidneys, our pancreas, our spleen hold fears like scarcity and lack of self-worth. We tend to store them in our bodies here. Up here, we hold grief. Here we hold self-doubts too. So join me in getting rid of all of that stuff in a very fun way. Here we go.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Had as much
Step
of
your
you
feet
as I
wide.
could take.
Had as much as I could take. Bend your knees.
So done,
Gonna move this plant so I don't knock it off. You ready? We're gonna sweep like this.
I've gone through the motions, I've been back and forth.
There you go, like your hips are sweeping.
Thinking you've heard this before.
Come to your belly and your heart,
Don't know how to say
like
it,
you're clearing stuff out.
so I'm just gonna say it. Yeah.
Go back to your hips.
Fear you don't own.
Fear you don't own me.
There ain't no room in this story.
Come to your belly and your heart.
Got time for you telling me what I'm not, like you know me. Well, guess what?
Guess what?
I know I
Now make fists like you're strong.
I'm strong.
Just be strong. Tell yourself I'm strong. Do it again. I've got my own identity. Now sweep.
So
Fear,
you will
never be welcome here. Now send your hips way to the right. And then
Take a minute,
under.
let it settle in.
All the way around to the left.
You probably
and
never
back.
saw it coming.
Let your upper body float. Make a sound. Oh, if it feels good to stretch like this. Go the other way.
There's no room for you.
Oh yeah, big hip circle. Open up your upper body.
My heart is lit up. In case you didn't hear.
Oh, doesn't that feel good? In case you didn't hear it, here it is again. Let's sweep.
Oh,
Fear you don't own me. Come to your belly and heart. There ain't no room. Come all the way to the top.
You telling me what I'm not, like you
Come to your belly and your heart.
Guess what?
Guess what? Now tell yourself I'm strong. I'm strong and I'm free. Do it again. I've got my own identity. Sweep those hips. Fear, you will never be welcome here. Sweep to the belly and the heart.
Anybody out there just like me?
Now imagine clearing out all old griefs, all old self-doubts.
Don't know how to say it.
Come all the way to the top and clear your mind. Back to the bottom, sweep.
You don't own,
You don't own me.
there
To the belly and the heart.
All
All the way up and over. Feel the whole body opening up.
Like you know me, well guess what?
Guess what?
I know
Make fists and say, I am strong
brave and I am
and free.
my own.
I've got my own identity. Sweep out that fear. Come to your belly and heart. Come all the way up. And belly and heart, back to the bottom. Now here you're sweeping out other people's anxiety, other people's fear, other people's anger. Come to your belly and your heart. Sweep out anger. Take a big breath in. Notice how you feel. How you feeling? Come chat me up. This is how I find out if it's working. So liberating. I got a piece of hair in my mouth, sorry. That's what happens when I get wild. I love that. She says, you don't own me. I'm feeling this. Yes, yes, yes. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, you are amazing. Oh, that's so great. Oh, I saw earlier, yep, someone said to get that. You have people telling they're sharing with each other products, which I love. The mineral soak, Dr. Teal's, awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Mary. Okay, someone said, so liberating, energized, great. It was beautiful, thank you. Oh, Melissa says, wow, better than Calgon. That's so good. I'm so glad. And we're right on time. So the only last thing, I promised I'd leave time for questions. I get excited, can you tell? I just wish I could hug you, that's all. Just imagine I'm hugging you. Okay, focus, Deb. Get your mind back on it. Other thing I wanted to share with you is this recipe that I've given you, and yours will be color. It's really pretty when you do the ebook. This is a tea that I make, and I sip on. I drink at least one in the morning, and sometimes, like I've had allergies, I've been sipping on it all day. It's warm, but I put it in a clear glass so you could see the color. So it's a ginger turmeric tea, and if you've never used, I wanted to bring you and show you the fresh turmeric root, but I had already used it up. Turmeric, if you've never seen it, it's usually sold in the grocery store near where the ginger is. Surely you found the ginger root. And if you don't know, don't worry. Just ask the people in the produce section. Get fresh turmeric, fresh ginger. It sounds complicated, but I promise it's not. You just peel the peel of a lemon. You take a little paring knife and just peel off the peel, because you're going to use the peel. You're going to boil it. You're going to boil the peel. You're going to take a 2-inch piece of ginger, a 2-inch piece of turmeric. It's super easy. Something I learned for peeling the ginger and turmeric is to take a spoon and turn it backwards. I just scrape it with a spoon. I don't even use a knife. I just scrape it. You cut them into little rounds, and you boil all this with just a pinch of cayenne, a little bit of black pepper. The black pepper is important because it activates the turmeric, and turmeric is a very powerful anti-inflammatory. So to drink this is so healing and soothing and lovely, and it boosts your immune system. So, as we, like here, we have so many allergies. I think y'all do in Houston too. And so you just want to be supporting your immune system. And it's lovely. I put a little local honey in mine, which is also helpful. Oh, so there you go. Let's see, what are we hearing here? It's the ebook with the drink recipe and a recording of today's event. Yes, oh, that's what they're saying. You're going to get the ebook and you're going to get a recording. Yes, yes, yes. And let's see what else. Yes, clothing needs to be loose. You're right. Yeah. So, yes, I'm glad you're doing immunotherapy. And, anything that we're doing can be done more gently, but I do know for sure the joints love to be moved, even if it's a little. They need movement because movement is what asks the body to create synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is a very slippery, slickery substance. NASA tried to make something as slippery for the moving parts in space rockets, and they couldn't make anything as slippery and perfect as synovial fluid. That's how perfectly we're designed. But your body starts making it when you start moving. When you move, it starts making more. That's why in the morning when you wake up, because you haven't been moving much, your joints are stiffer. But as you move, and that's why it's real important to do that joint moving in the morning, every morning, and to get more fluid going. So that's why that's important. I have a right paralyzed lung, but I had a good time. I'm so glad, Cassandra. I'm so glad you could have a good time. So, we got some shopping tips going on there about Dr. Tupil. So I'm here now for your questions, and I don't know if you want to, you guys want to chat me up or how you want to do it. How do you want to do questions? Just I'm here for you because I promised I would stay for questions here. Let's see. I'll wait for you. Anybody? I'm looking to see if anybody's if it has anybody. Lane, do you want to come on and tell me if there's any in the hand-raising portion? Because I don't know how to check that part myself.
Sure. Let's see. We're good on questions there.
Okay.
I'm going to post the link for your ebook in the comments in just a second. That way, if anyone wants to try your drink recipe, we have that. Someone just asked for the name of the song.
Yes, of course. And let's put that in their email too, but I'll tell you that the last song is called The Breakup Song because it's about breaking up with fear. And the artist's name, I need to make my screen bigger down here. So her name is Francesca Battistelli. Francesca Battistelli, The Breakup Song. That was the one we danced to. And we also used a song by Karen called Breathe in the very beginning when we were doing the seated breathing with our hands like that. And then when we were standing and doing more of the central nervous system balancing, it was a song called I Am Safe by Beautiful Chorus. Yeah. So the song about peace that is called I Am Safe. In fact, I'm going to do like this. So you guys can, let's do like this. You can write it down, but here's the song. And I'm going to type it in here.
Safe.
Oops.
Here, I feel peace near. I am
There's this one.
safe.
Okay.
Here.
And now I'm going to do this one. Let me get to where she's singing.
I forgive.
This one. That's Breathe by Karen Drucker.
I receive.
Can't go wrong.
I can feel.
Cannot go wrong.
I believe.
And then this one that we danced to.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Had as much of you as I can take. I'm so done, so over being afraid. I've gone through.
There you go. I've typed them into the chat box for you. So, and we can put them in the email. Yes.
Dr. Deb, we had some questions that are coming in the Q&A box as well.
Awesome. Great.
One of them is, do you have any tips for everyone who's joining us to help students in the classroom relax? Maybe something that's super short or a quick way they can relax before a test or a quiz.
Absolutely. Any of the things we did, the 4 square breath, for sure. I would also say doing cross-lateral. So brain gym, and the brain gym is a beautiful technique. Let me just, well, it's easier if they stand. So this can really, really help students when they do cross-lateral movement. So where they're like touching the opposite knee. So touching the opposite knee like this is good. Also, anything where they're crossing the midline, making a figure 8 pattern. So you could just have them do like this and breathe and match their breath to it. If they breathe, match their breath, and watch their hands, it helps everything come into focus. Another one, do with me, put your hands toward your screen. Turn them, so they're like this, turn them palms out. Do you see that? Switch them over. Now hold hands with yourself and then tuck them under. This is called a hookup. And this helps balance, it helps bring together left and right brain hemisphere. Have them do that 4 square breath with their hands like this. That'll help their nervous system. Those are some just short ones. And it all depends on the age. If you're teaching middle school, I taught 7th and 8th grade Spanish and French in the 80s. And so I know what would work with my 7th and 8th graders would be so different what would work with kindergartners. But everybody loves music. So if you can find a piece of music that has a rhythm that they can touch their knees with, or a rhythm that they can do like this with, or a rhythm they can breathe with like I did with you. I don't know if you noticed how it felt, but to have a song that has lyrics that kind of come in under the radar a little bit, that helps to lift the spirits and give courage and confidence. I would add that too, if it's possible.
We have some other questions that are coming in through our Q&A.
Okay, great.
Feature. This may be one of my favorite questions we've had that we've done events with you. How have the wellness practices you've shared with us today impact your life in a positive way?
Oh my gosh. I mean, let me tell you this. When I was in nursing school, I was sure for sure that I was manic depressive, because we had to take a class in Psych 101, and because I go really anxious really fast, and then I get spun out so fast I can't move, I'm paralyzed. So if it weren't for the practices that I have, I mean, I would not be functioning. I notice myself getting spinning, and I do the very things I've been telling you to do. I notice myself going down, and I start moving to bring myself up. So also, I mean, there's so much. I don't know how I could have parented without knowing what I know about Ayurveda and understanding the difference in mind-body types. Those are just two ways. Yeah, I mean, there's no area of my life that they haven't impacted. And I see the Q&A now, and I can see, would it be better to have less lighting or more? Depending what, I would use full spectrum lights I've put full spectrum lights in my house, to help prevent with seasonal affective disorder. In Houston, that's not such an issue. Natural lighting is always best. So at any time that you can turn off the lights, that's great. Just to turn off lights and have natural light is best. And then if you're having artificial lights, to have full spectrum lights. You can buy light bulbs like that at Home Depot or on Amazon. And am I a dancer? I would say, here's my answer to that. Everyone is a dancer, and I have never taken formal dance class. I wanted to when I was 5. I wanted so badly to take ballet. My mom took me. I had my little tutu. We went to the ballet studio, and her name was Miss Hathaway. And Miss Hathaway had her hair in a French twist, and she had a stick in one hand. And she took one look at me, and in front of me said to my mom, "She's much too large to dance." And they turned me away. So I had in my mind for 20 something years that I was too large to dance. I even chose Vanderbilt Nursing School over other schools because they didn't require PE. I was so afraid to do anything physical, anything movement. And it wasn't until I was, I don't know how old I was, but I went to France. I was a governess in France right after college, and I gained 50, that's 50 pounds from eating fresh pain au chocolat and everything else, and being pretty depressed, which was, I didn't know myself back then. And so when I started graduate school, I had to find something, and I took my first aerobics class in 1979. Changed my life. I mean, it was back in the day, right? The leg warmer day. But no, I never, over the years, I've taken so many movement modalities, NIA training, and different yogas. And what I'm so kinesthetic, I can actually feel in my body where particular emotions are stuck. And I discovered over the years in teaching classes that, in fact, where I feel those stuck things, that's where everyone is carrying theirs. So I teach for my own healing and then spread it out to others, and it just works out. So that's my answer. Long answer, short question.
We're going to start wrapping up. I know everyone is at home, and we want to be respectful of your time as well, Dr. Deb and Dr. Udayamurthy. So Dr. Udayamurthy, if you want to pop back on for a bit. I know she turned her camera off to be able to attend just like everyone else and enjoy your practices. So if you want to pop back on, we can go ahead and start wrapping up today's event.
Lane, I think there's, you have to turn on my video, it says. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay, there. Okay, back. Thanks, Dr. Deb, for that great presentation. I hope everybody's learned something today. I know I've learned something. Thank you for reminding us that we have to be grateful, especially during this super stressful time. So thanks for that reminder. Hopefully everybody this presentation can help you live a more stress-free and healthy life. And thank you, Dr. Deb, for answering all our questions as well. Lane, I believe now's the time to draw our names for the winners.
Yes, so thank you to everyone who stuck around. We have our door prize winners. We did a random.org for everyone who signed in at the beginning of our event and is still here. So we're going to draw 5 door prizes. We will contact you at the email address you registered with and coordinate getting your door prizes delivered to you. We have 5 really great gift baskets for all of you filled with Kelsey-Seybold goodies. So we have 5 winners. The first winner is Mary Dones, D-O-N-E-S, and I apologize in advance if I pronounce your last name wrong. I am awful at pronouncing last names. The second winner is Rita Moreno. The third winner is Anna Martinez. The fourth winner is Linda Gelman. And the fifth winner is Sean Chilo. So thank you. We will reach out to all of you with the email address you registered with. If you do not hear from us, please feel free to send us a message via Kelsey-Seybold's Facebook page. Our social media team works closely with our marketing team, and we'll make sure that we connect with you to get your door prizes to you. So thank you again to all of you for joining us, and to Dr. Deb and Dr. Dea Murthy. We hope all of you have a fabulous afternoon, and hopefully we'll see you again at a Kelsey-Seybold event in the future. So have a great night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.